Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1, bringing you the latest news in English from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. I'm Apat Szőci. Thanks for tuning in. Hungary's prime minister has warned of increasing migration pressure on the country's southern border and expects more organized groups of migrants will try to enter Hungary as the weather improves. He was at a southern border crossing showing his Slovakian counterpart Hungary's defensive border fence.
Prime Minister Viktor Orbán went to examine the border at Röszke together with Slovakian Prime Minister Peter Pellegrini on Thursday. Pellegrini emphasized that this border section is also the southern border of the Schengen area, so immigrants coming through would also cause issues for Slovakia. Even though many others don't want to admit it, we also think that with increasingly warm weather, the number of migrants will also increase. We have also caught many vehicles full of immigrants driven by human smugglers in Slovakia, the Slovak PM said. He added that Slovakia is grateful to Hungary for protecting the EU's southern border. The Slovak PM assured Hungarian PM Orbán that they will continue to help in the protection of the Schengen border, with technology and with police officers. Orbán emphasized that Hungary and Slovakia have affirmed their agreement that Hungary can count on the help of the Slovakian police force. He added that migrational pressure and illegal border crossing attempts will continue to increase in the upcoming period. There are potentially 100,000 migrants who want to enter Europe, he said. If Hungary receives help from Slovakia and Austria in protecting the southern border, then Hungary can also participate in the increased patrolling of the border between Serbia and North Macedonia, said Hungarian Minister of the Interior, Sándor Pintér, after meeting his Serbian counterpart in Horgos.
Hungary and Rwanda have signed an extensive cooperation agreement concerning development projects, announced Hungary's Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister. Péter Szijjártó said those include measures to improve the quality of life in Rwanda, which should also help reduce the number of Rwandans emigrating. He added that a credit line worth $50 million is also being established, which Hungarian companies can draw from to carry out the necessary projects in the African nation. Hungarian President János Áder is in Rome for talks. On Thursday afternoon, he met with the head of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, Giacomo Dalla Torre. And on Friday at the Vatican, the Hungarian president will have a personal audience with Pope Francis, after which he'll then go on to meet Italian President Sergio Mattarella. The European Commission has released its winter 2020 economic forecast and now predicts that Hungary's economy will grow even more than previously stated. It says the European Union in general will experience GDP of 1.4% for this year and next year. As for Hungary, the Commission upped its original prediction for this year from 2.8% to 3.2%. And as for last year, once all the figures are in, it predicts almost 5%, which would be second highest after Ireland. It credits Hungary for withstanding the international economic slowdown while having increased public investment and new car lines being launched. The construction industry also grew by 24% last year, which also played a significant role in the country's impressive GDP. One reason for so much construction is because home ownership has become easier with the government's Family Home Creation Program, or CHOC. Depending on family size, you can get significant grants and/or mortgages at reduced rates.
Doors and windows will be built into this newly constructed house in Fertőrákos in Győr-Moson-Sopron County. Company employees work all year round. This is the fourth house they've built since the beginning of the year. Thanks to such investments, the construction industry performed well last year. Production in this sector increased by almost 22%. Construction of buildings increased by more than 20%, and that of other structures by nearly 24%. The number of newly built homes has been steadily increasing for years. Between 2010 and 2019, 115,000 homes were completed. The State Secretary for the Ministry of Innovation and Technology said that the growth was mainly due to government subsidies. This is primarily due to CHOC and government measures. As a result, the number of newly built homes has been steadily increasing since 2015. In that year, there were 7,600 new homes, 17,700 new homes in 2018, and 10,302 new homes by September of 2019. the state secretary said. According to experts, in 2019, the construction industry is expected to account for more than 5% of the Hungarian GDP. This hasn't been achieved in quite some time. The performance of the Hungarian construction industry is outstanding when it comes to a regional comparison as well. Compared to 2018, the performance of the construction industry increased the most in Hungary among the Visegrad countries.
The best the Carpathian Basin has to offer for weapons enthusiasts, hunters and fishers is on display at the 27th Fehova exhibition at the Hungexpo Pavilion in Budapest. Hundreds of exhibitors from many countries offer weapons, fishing equipment and hunting gear.
Simple guns, telescopic guns, shotguns and rifles are lined up at the stands. Visitors can learn everything about them, and the brave can even try what it's like to aim with them. But for visitors more interested in fishing, there is also lots to see. There are plenty of tents, boats, reels, and fishing rods to choose from. 300 exhibitors are presenting their products from 17 countries. This is the largest gathering of hunters, fishermen, and nature enthusiasts of the Carpathian Basin. This is the 27th time it's being organized. The Minister of Agriculture said at the event that it's no accident that the event is held in Hungary, since hunting and fishing traditions are deeply rooted in Hungarian culture. Hungary will be home to the World Hunting and Nature Expo next year. Organizers are planning more than 600 activities around the country. Zoltán Kovács, the government commissioner responsible for the event, said that they are right on track with the preparations. The objective is to show the value of Hungarian hunting and fishing culture. We're preparing an event series and central programming where all of the hunting and fishing organizations will be able to introduce themselves, from dog organizations to falconry associations, hunters and anglers, he said. The National Hungarian Association of Fishing gave awards to anglers who performed well at world competitions. The Athlete of the Year award was given to 3 fishermen, and György Varga received the Hungarian Fishing Lifetime Achievement Award.
Hungary has no reported cases of the coronavirus. The topic was discussed at the government's weekly briefing on Thursday. A spokesperson announced that the 7 Hungarians who were transported from the Chinese province of Wuhan, where the outbreak allegedly started, are still in quarantine at a Budapest hospital, but are expected to be released on Sunday. Meanwhile, the coronavirus was also a topic at the EU.
Health ministers from EU member states have held an extraordinary meeting in Brussels because of the spread of the coronavirus. After the meeting, Szabolcs-Szigeti, Deputy State Secretary of the Ministry of Human Resources, said the Union is in solidarity and will help the countries affected by the infection. The issue of solidarity has been raised. Solidarity, first of all, with China, trying to help locally, and from now on, the need to help countries whose healthcare system is not strong enough, Szabolcs-Szigeti said. We're still not aware of any Hungarian cases, announced the minister in charge of the Prime Minister's office at the weekly government press conference. Gergely Gulyás emphasized the Hungarian nation is prepared for all situations. The 28-point action plan of the Operational Virus Infection Control Team contains all precautionary preparedness, prevention and action decisions and measures. We are doing everything we can, not just so that we can prevent the virus appearing in Hungary, but to inform people that there are no known cases at the moment. The danger of this exists, but we are doing everything we can in order to prevent this from happening, Gergely Gulyás explained. The Hungarians who were brought home from Wuhan are still in quarantine at the Central Hospital in South Pest, but they are expected to be released on Sunday.
In Rave Komárom in southern Slovakia, home to a huge Hungarian minority, the Gallery Limes is showing the works of the city's own talented young artists. More than 20 of them have more than 100 creations on display. The works were made at a master camp at the Rovás art group in Kassa. The art used many different techniques, but had one major theme: the national cohesion of Hungarians everywhere. Hungary's biggest church is to be renovated. The Cathedral of Our Lady of the Assumption and St. Adalbert in Esztergom in the north of the country. It's already had an interior elevator installed, which brings you up to its library and further onto its viewing deck. The northern wing and the cupola have also been restored, and this year sees work starting on the entrance and the grounds surrounding the building. Despite all the construction, this impressive structure is still open for tourists. And that's all for now. But you can see Hungary reports in repeats and on the internet, and we're back live after the next Hungarian news program at 11:20 p.m. Central European Time. Please stay tuned if you can for our shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and viszontlátásra.